Hello friends, welcome to AI with Supreet again. And in this video today, we will be talking about RAG apps, retrieval augment generation apps. Now, what is RAG apps and why is it so famous in the world of artificial intelligence? Well, as RAG stands for retrieval augment generation, what it basically means is that you are able to feed AI with large text of data, and then the AI model is able to retrieve a part of that data based on a question or an information that you are looking for. So it is able to retrieve and then it is able to generate an answer. So there are two processes involved here. One is retrieval, the other one is generation. Retrieval corresponds to able to retrieve a specific set of data that you are asking the AI model to fetch from a large data set or a large text or a PDF file or a video. As you can see, it could be multiple different type of document that you can feed to it and then extract data from that document or files. The second part is generation, wherein based on your question or the insights that you're looking for, the AI model is able to create an answer for you. So when you fuse these two, the retrieval and generation together, we call these applications retrieval augmented generation applications. So we are going to create an RAG app today with the help of kernel memory. A little brief on what kernel memory is. So, if you remember in our previous videos, we used something called semantic memory, and that was still in pre release. Well, what Microsoft did is they created a kernel memory based on their learnings and the inputs from other people who were using semantic memory to create kernel memory. What kernel memory does is basically it makes it very easy to work with the memory, work with the documents, and create RAG apps. How easy? Well, you can create your own RAG apps in less than 6 or 7 steps, and that's what we are going to do today. So with the kernel memory, as you can see in this diagram over here, you can feed it with multiple different type of data, be it files in Word docs, PDF, chats, meetings, your presentations, emails, videos, or whatever. So it is a multi-model AI service, right, from Microsoft. So you feed that data. What the service does is automatically extracts the data from it, it transforms it picks the insights, and it saves them into a memory for you. So you don't have to create memory, you don't have to create uh, of course you'll have to create external memory if you want to keep these embeddings that have been created saved somewhere. But in our example today, we will again not be creating any persisting memories today. So we will just feed it with a document and let the system extract the information, transform it, and make it available for us to ask questions to it via processing natural language queries. So let's go ahead and jumpstart and get started. So what we are going to do today is we are going to go ahead and, as usual, we are going to go ahead and start with a sample app. So I'm going to create a console app. We will name it SK Talk Chat maybe. So let's do that, and we'll create an application. Yes, I think I already have that with the name, but that's okay. I don't need this, so we'll go ahead and delete that. Now we will go ahead and install our NuGet packages, and we need two NuGet packages today. One is semantic kernel, so we will go ahead and install our semantic kernel stable version. As of today, it is 1.2.0, so I'm going to go ahead and install that. Then the other NuGet package that I need is kernel memory. So for that, I will go ahead and install this Microsoft.kernelmemory.core. This is also available under stable version. So if you compare both semantic memory and kernel memory, semantic memory is still in pre-release, but kernel memory has a stable version available. So if you are creating production applications and if you want to use memory in it and if you want to create RAG applications, going ahead with kernel memory would be a rather better choice. Again, it's multi-model. It does a lot of your work automatically, so you don't have to do a lot of manual work. Um, okay, all right. Now that we have this, the NuGet package available, so let's go ahead, start writing our application. We will first go ahead and start working with the using statements. I also need one more NuGet today. This is called .NET ENV. This one, 313. We will go ahead and install. So what it does basically, this is not related with our RAG application, but we need this in order to read the data from our environment files. So here we have it. Oops. Oh, so this actually opened an existing app. We don't need the plugin, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. We don't need it. Okay. We have the program.cs file here. What we need though is we need to add a sample file to it. So I'm going to go ahead and add the environment file to it by loading it from my existing solution. So all files, and then I need this and these two files. I'm going to go ahead and add. So what is the .env file? It is nothing but it has my OpenAI credentials. If you do not already have the OpenAI credentials, I would suggest that you go ahead to platform.openai.com and grab your own API keys from there. Once you have it in the, you just go ahead and create a new file called .env, and in that file, just mention this OpenAI key with this text, OpenAI underscore API underscore key, and then put your key over there, right? Once that is done, the next thing that we need to do is we'll need to make sure that this is uh, an embedded resource, and we will, for time being, mark it as always copy. This is the PDF document that we are going to feed to our application. So I'm going to also mark that as our a resource file or an embedded resource, whichever you want, and copy always. What that do basically is that whenever we build, these two files will now be available inside the bin folder of our application. So the code will then be able to find it. So the first thing that we are doing is we are reading the variable file that we have, and we are reading the OpenAPI key from that into this variable here. Let's go ahead next. This is where the magic start. We will go ahead and start creating the memory here. So we will go ahead and create an object of kernel memory builder. We will pass it the open API key, and then we will use the build method to create a memory object out of it. Now you will notice here that in the build method, I have supplied it to use memory serverless. What does this mean is that we do not, this kernel memory can be used as an external server. So it could remain outside of your application and work as an external server, as an extended external service. You can do that, and we will see that probably in one of our future examples. But in this example today, we are using this as a serverless memory. So with that in place, now let's go ahead and feed the memory with our document. So I'm gonna go ahead and uh, use the memory object dot import document async method, and then going to give it the path to, or the name to, the PDF file that I wanted to read, along with an ID. This ID is important because this is how we know we'll be able to read this document with the help of this ID. So once that is done, let's go ahead and check if the document is, as the fourth step, let's go ahead and check if the document is ready. How do we do that? So again, memory object has a method called is the document ready, and then give it the name of your document, the ID of your document. I'll skip that for time being. So now, what does this mean? See, this is a large document, right? When we are feeding it to the memory, the process of feeding it to the memory, the process of the AI model absorbing the document, going through it, creating chunks out of it, creating the embedded memories out of it, takes a little while. So before we can start asking questions, it's a good idea to go and check whether the document is ready for further Q&A or RAG process or not. You can do that via using this method over here. Let's say once the document is then available, then what we are doing is we are simply creating a small chat application over here, wherein we are able to chat with this document that we have supplied. And I'll walk you through the code. So I'm saying that the document is ready. You can start with the questions. I've created an infinite loop so that the chat goes on and on until I kill it. Then we are asking the user to ask a question, and we are passing that question to our chat method. Then we are using the memory dot ask async method. Now this is important. This is where uh, we get the answer using our memory, right? So we are going to get the answer, and then we are going to print this answer there. And then forget about this. But actually, let's talk about that as well. So not only are we printing the answer dot result, which is our answer, but with kernel memory, what you can also do, and it's a fantastic thing that the Microsoft team added this, that we can also cite various sources from where this answer was abstracted. Whenever a question is being asked and the AI model is able to find an answer in the doc, it is also able to give us the name of the source, the link, the which partition where it got the answer from. So basically, all the source and the citation details is something that we can also print along with the answer, and that's what we are doing here. So with that, our first RAG application is ready. So let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. So I'm going to put a breakpoint here so that we can take it step by step and see how it is processing the document. So we will just build it, and there we are. So we are reading the environment file. Let me check if we got some values there. We did or we did not. Yeah, we got a count one. So it is able to read our open API keys. We are then feeding the open API key and creating a memory kernel memory builder object out of it using memory serverless memory. So we'll create a memory object, and then we will feed it the document. Now you will see that in here it is printing all the details, saying, see, the partition is ready. It is able to summarize. It is able to uploading of the document is happening here. Then the file has been uploaded. It has extracted the information from it. It has also created various partitions. What does this mean? Is that it is um, dividing your large file into multiple smaller chunks, so that when you ask a question, it is able to very quickly figure out which partition it should refer to and get the answer from there. And again, you can use these partition details in your citation as well. So it is still processing. Let us give it a couple of more minutes. This document that I have uploaded is an extremely large document. It is a book on a technology called Xamarin Forms from Microsoft that allows you to create cross-platform mobile applications. So it's an entire ebook. So I wouldn't suggest that you go ahead and do this example with such a large ebook, but for me it works. So I have just I had this book handy, so I just read it, that book. Okay, so now with the book is being read and processed, so it says that partition is ready. See, embeddings are now ready, save records ready, uh, and it has also created a default pipeline. So we are now ready, and we can also check that with the help of this method called is document ready. So we run that check, and then we create the chat application where we ask the user to ask a question. So hi, and the document is ready. You can start asking questions. So at this point in time, our document is uploaded. It has been added to the memory, and it has been successfully partitioned. A pipeline is created. Embedding is available. We did not have to do any of our memory or manual stuff altogether that we did in the previous videos. All we have to do now is to start asking his questions. So let's see. Hi, what is Xamarin Forms? Oops, so yeah, it still has a breakpoint on. So I hope that it will not hit the breakpoint going forward. All right. So I have asked it one very simple question because the book is on Xamarin Forms. So it is ideal to go ahead and ask the question related to what is Xamarin Forms. Let's see what it has to answer. So yeah. So the question was, hi, what is Xamarin Forms? And the answer is Xamarin Forms is cross-platform UI toolkit and all of that. And if you see the in the sources, it has also mentioned that it is giving us the answer based on reading this book that we fed it with. And the pipeline is the document is called doc001. This is the partition that it is using, and it's also giving me a date and time of when that partition was created. All right, that sounds good. Let me ask it one more question. Can I create Android and iOS apps with Xamarin Forms? Let's give it a minute. Sure enough, we have one more answer there. All right. So that is how you can go ahead and create your first RAG application by a RAG application by feeding a document and then being able to query that document in natural language using kernel memory in less than how many steps did we create this application in? In less than 5 steps, if you include the chat as well. I hope you like it, but let's go ahead and add some more details to it. So what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and let's go ahead and um, read one web page as well. So I'm going to go ahead and find a web page. Overview of Xamarin Forms on learn.microsoft.com website. Let me just grab this link from here. So we'll grab the link from here, go back to our application, stop it. And this time what we are going to do is we are going to feed it with one more memory. And instead of using import document async, we will use something called import web page async. And then we will give it the URL and we will call this document ID should be doc002. And we will modify this here so that we are basically checking that it is done processing both the documents, and then we will ask it the questions, and then we will see which sources it is citing and giving us the answers from. So just like reading the PDF file was easy, you can give it uh, the web page as well, and there are a lot of other functions here. So you can give it text documents, you can give it meetings, videos. So it's a multi-modal AI, right? So you can give it even images and videos, and it is able to parse them, and then you should be able to question on them as well. We will create a few samples on that in the future as well. So let's go ahead and wait for it to process those two memories. One is a PDF document and the other one is a web page. And once it is ready, we will go ahead and ask some questions to it. Now it has all successfully processed our documents. If you see here, pipeline default 001 is complete. Then we also gave it a web page. So it processed that as well, started extracting the details, partition, created embeddings, saved the records, and it said this pipeline 002 is also ready. Now let's ask the same question. What is Xamarin Forms? And let's see whether it answers that question from the PDF file or from the web page, and whether it is able to give us the right source as well. There you go. So we have the answer. Xamarin Forms is an open source UI framework that allows development, blah, blah, blah. We have the answer. And the sources. It is using both these sources. You see, content URL, it is also using that. and it is also using the PDF file. Okay, let's ask some specific question which I know is not in the URL, but I'm pretty sure would be available in the PDF file. How can I use styles in Xamarin Forms? Now I know that that answer would not be on the introductory page of Microsoft Learn website. It will be there in some other URL, but not on that introductory page that we fed our memory with. But this is definitely there in the PDF. So I'm hoping that it should be able to not only fetch the answer, but should cite the PDF as the source. Let's see. There we go. It gave us the answer. In Xamarin Forms, you can use styles to apply a set of properties. It also gave us an example that is pretty amazing. And if you see that it is able to bring that information not only from the PDF, but I'm surprised it also find it out in the web page as well. That is very impressive, super impressive. I love it. So yeah, that's how easy it is to create your own RAG applications with semantic kernel by using kernel memory, not semantic memory. I hope you like this. In the next video, we will create some more advanced applications and feed different kind of models, different kind of memories to the KM kernel memory and see how it performs. So thanks a lot. Bye.